Bitcoin holds above 111,000. Ethereum right now is stuck under 4,000. Are their key wallets unloading? Altcoins are still dragging in the mud. But under the surface, we can see that gold is leading and Bitcoin will follow. I can assure you of that. So, welcome back, Crypto Crew. It is your boy Tom here, bringing you the hottest in Bitcoin and crypto action. If you like what you see, give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day, because we are crypto maniacs. All right, let's get right back into it. Is this the calm before the breakout? Could possibly be happening. I know there's a lot of naysayers there. I know a lot of people think we're dumping, but look, we got some macro. We got some macro setups that we can't just dismiss and say that Bitcoin is now headed into the tank. No, we got to actually dig our deep in and get our hands dirty. As it stands right now, Bitcoin's sitting firm above 111,000 right now. Look at the old support line good old Tom gave you yesterday. That held up beautifully. Unfortunately, the resistance also held. So it's holding its range despite the volatility. Now, we had softer U.S. inflation print yesterday that actually helped boost the risk appetite. But that's what pushed Bitcoin, okay, back above the 110, right? So what we have to really pay attention to on this chart right now is that we have that 109. We have a lot of series of support levels on the downside, right? The most important support level is that 103. We got to hold that. So can we get some to and fro? Yeah, but it looks like a Bitcoin is going to attempt to break up above 100 and say 13,000. Okay, it's very close. We're only like 1,200 bucks away from it. So that's not really big news, right? But it's for structure, it's an important thing. Okay? So we need to get out of the quagmire that we're in right now. So right now, really what we're seeing is if I take all right, I just move my little support line up. I didn't want to do that. But if I take this box, right, I'm gonna just expand what the box is right now and what's happening with Bitcoin right now. Basically, this is where we are. Okay? This is like the whole shebang right here. Okay, so we are in consolidation right now between say 106 and the top of this box. Let me see if I can just get this to actually match it perfectly, because there it is right there to the top of this box. So we're coiling in between these 2 points right now. Now, when we got the US inflation print that actually helped boost the risk appetite, as I just said, the real story wasn't in the number. It's in the relationship. Because if we look at Bitcoin, okay, versus gold, the correlation between gold and Bitcoin actually always follows gold, or gold moves first, Bitcoin follows. Better way of saying it, I guess. And there's always a 108-day lag between gold rallies and Bitcoin surges that is repeated for years. And right now we're like right on schedule. Okay, so gold has already broken out. Bitcoin's chart is starting to show the same coiling compression right there. We're right there. We're in it. We need to get above this level right there, the 114, to actually start to make us, attack the next levels up higher. Okay. Now I'm going to go through, of course, some short-term like support points as it stands right now. But we can see that gold has already made the move, right? We've been talking about this. We said also when we looked at, M2, look at M2, global liquidity, gold and Bitcoin is still lagging. It's still lagging. But really, the correlation is here. So let's get back into the 2-hour chart. All right, so we have been technically range bound between right now, I'd say, let's say 108 support and the 114 resistance. I'm believing that if we can get a clean break above 114, it could unleash the next leg towards the $118,000 level. Now, a lot of analysts think that once we break 114, we're going straight to like 120. No way. No way. The bears are going to defend the line. It will be, the 118 is going to be really one of the last lines of defense. So you got to assume that the big boys that are short, they will defend that line and they will actually try to push to make it get retail again to puke positions to give them back, coin cheaper. So they're going to defend 118. Now, once 118 stabilizes, then we can look at the 120. Now, we still have over our heads that potential double top. I'm going to show you that in a second. But let's just go over like where the risk is right now. Okay, so I'm going to say so far we made the high of say 112. Okay, so the short-term support is still good at 109 right here. This level that I gave you yesterday is still good. Now, if we break that, we could actually look to attempt the bottom of the box again. Now, I don't think that's going to be a straight run. So, in other words, right now, what market structure is actually saying is that we're fine here. Okay, so right now the support is right there. Okay, we bounced off of it and we're starting to head back up towards this resistance to break, outside of the box like that, right? Now, what structure is also saying is that it could potentially do something like this, and it's fine. I mean, if it does it, it's fine, okay? Like we're right here is our new resistance level, our short-term resistance, okay? So we could actually, come down, touch support again, break through support. Now we have two levels, deeper levels of support right here, the 108, and you go the 107, and of course, right down here, the real main support at 106,001. That's fine if it did something like that and then it came back up and then broke out upward. That would actually be a stronger move upward if it happened. Okay. Now it would also, it would also give the bears reason to have hope, and I would like that because I do believe that the true trap is down in here. Okay. Now we never retested this for structural sake. That's a good thing. So what I mean by structure, let's do it. Low that day, right? ADL happens, automatic deleveraging. Market spikes up, comes right up to this time, and it's trading here, gets pushed back down, makes a new high, meets massive monster resistance, makes it basically right here. If we have a low, we got just an intermediate high. This is just a what would be a valley, right? Then you got a higher low. This was like the first, like when I saw this, I said, oh, okay, wait, potentially, we have a now slightly higher low. We need to get through this top, right? No, bears came in, defended this, and pushed us down to a really nice low there, right? I mean, that was unbelievable. Now, what are we doing? The structure still is the same. That point is very, very important. Obviously, the most important point is the 102, right? But as it stands, right now, if we look at the market, we got a low. We got a high, okay? We got a higher low. We got a breakout high that failed. Now, this is what I didn't like. Then when we first saw this, I said, I don't like that we came down here. I said we could retest this. I actually thought we were going to come down and retest this. Didn't. I was wrong. Okay. So now as it stands right now, that's the point we got to get through. Right there. That little wick right there. We got to get through. 114. Unbelievable. 114 even. If we could score that, we should be trading now between, as long as we close above it, okay, we should be trading between 114 and 115.7 and potentially even down to like 110 again, like this type of range. But the range should start to be breaking up, breaking higher and expanding. That's what we got on the short term. So right now in this area, right now, volume is flat. That is good. If you remember, like right in this area right now, volume is quiet, which is very good. It means it's accumulation. Remember that little scenario I gave you? I said, spikes on volume really are just potentially short-term, covering of like shorts or longs, right? When you get those huge spikes, now that's what happened here. Huge volume spike. Look at this. This was all short covering. And guess what? Then it was a complete trap right back down. But in this area right now, we are getting very light volume, which is good. Okay, for me, that's good. That means that market is accumulating. So that's a good sign for me thinking that Bitcoin is going up. So overall, let's just synopsis is right. We're range bound right now, roughly between 108 and 114. Textbook coil before catalyst setup. Now, the support shelf has to hold down here. It's got to hold. And of course, it's got to hold down at the 103, right? So if we break down through like the 109, and we break down through this low, we got to protect, and we break this, we got the real major potential at the 105 base. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but there is, if I'm just looking at this candle right here, I'm just taking like kind of like near the low of this candle. See, that's like the base point, but I don't think that's happening. So, but as I said, we have that double top that is still haunting us in the marketplace. And we also have the double top on this 2 hour. But we're starting to work through this. We had this top, then we had this top. We need to get through this 114. That's all I'm saying. So we are bouncing from the make or break zone. That is for sure. We've been here before. This this area right here acted as resistance 5 times. And now it's holding support right now, which is great. So it's really where the bulls have drawn the line. They're defending it, just as the bears are defending 114. The bulls are defending, like the 103, 104, 105 level. It's not random; it's accumulation because, as I said, the volume is low. So we have to look at some other things because we got to brace for what comes next. But, as we said, Bitcoin itself, if we look at M2, right? M2 is the king of this with gold. So M2 is actually, Bitcoin's lagging behind M2. Okay, M2, we got M2 expansion, we got gold ripping up. Bitcoin is coiling right now quietly, but liquidity always chases risk, man. So, and Bitcoin's next. So we're thinking the slingshot's going to be violent once we clear those levels. Once we clear that 110, I'm sorry, 114, 118 level, it's going to be violent. So here's what we're watching right now. All right. So if we look at this for a deeper clue, what we're saying here is here's where the institutional signal kicks in. The Bitcoin chart speaks, the ratios confirm it. Okay. Every major rally began with a spike in longs. Okay. Every correction started with those as the longs like faded out. Right. We're back in the green zone. Position is rebuilding. Okay. So people are accumulating right now. And the price action is repeating the same script we saw before every breakout. Don't sleep on it. I'm telling you, get into our private group. I'm going to show you how to do that, because we'll guide you through it. We're getting ready. We're getting ready, all right? And we're not going to be singing, okay? But you got to remember, we got M2 working for us. We got the gold rally that actually showed us where Bitcoin's headed next. So the key drivers, of course, are M2. Now, also, what's happening in the background? ETF flows and institutional treasury movement, they are still the key drivers, and they're moving. Volume confirmation. Okay, we're starting to get that quiet volume, which is good. We want to start to see volume pick up. Now, no breakout would be valid without it. So we should start to see an accumulate as volume is staying quiet right now. We should start to see the volume start to pick up as the market starts moving. But we don't want spikes. We don't want spikes. Spikes are just short covering. Okay, we know that they're just going to fade away. We want quiet, increasing volume, as the market starts getting stronger, starts moving up. Okay. Now, we also have to look at what they call mid-tier dolphin wallets. That's 10 to 1,000 Bitcoin holders. They're still quietly accumulating again. And that's a subtle bullish tell right there. So for now, we can say that Bitcoin is consolidating with intent, and we're waiting for the next spark. And I believe that next spark will be above 115,000. All right, now let's get on over to good old Ethereum. Ethereum itself, man, let me tell you. Ethereum is sitting right now at 3,947. It's battling the 4,000, 4,100, and that's a major psychological and technical level. Now, according to some metrics, Not all metrics. They're starting to say that long-term holders are starting to take profits, and that's why it's actually pushing Ethereum down right now. But the last major wall is gone in Ethereum. If we're looking at this chart, we could see it straight up. The red box was the ultimate barrier. Price is now retesting it from above it. Okay, so it's coming back down, but it's still holding the line. Now, a clean breakout structure is forming in Ethereum. Now, uh, once we break above, say 4,600, 4,800, don't blink because it's going to move quickly, and Ethereum is actually preparing its next leg up. So when you say, "Wait, Tom, wait," you're telling me that you think there's some profit taken from long-term holders. That's not a good thing. I mean, what are they losing confidence? No, it's not panic selling. It's rotation. These investors are basically just trimming. I believe they're trimming exposure while they're waiting for confirmation. That's all. They're probably getting into Bitcoin right now. "Oh, let me sell some Ethereum. Let me get into Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin dominance is up, right? So that one's going to be the one to lead, and Ethereum is going to follow. So why not try to make it on both sides, right? I mean, you got profits in Ethereum. Okay, let me sell off some of those profits. Let me buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves higher. I can, sell my Bitcoin at resistance, and all of a sudden I can scoop my Ethereum potentially at the same price because Ethereum's not moving right now, right? That's my argument. Okay, so right now we got resistance stacked right around 4,100, and unless we see a decisive close above that, okay, Ethereum is likely to stay like range locked, or even just drip slightly lower to retest the $3,700 base. Now look, 3,700 is a major support point right now in Ethereum. I would not like to see it break that. But could you test it? Yeah, possibly. But if we look at Ethereum, the support zone itself, okay, if we look at this triple bottom, same support 3 bloody times. Triple bottom is confirmed. The bulls aren't giving up this level. They're holding tight. All eyes now are on the breakout zone. So watch 4,200, 4,300 like a hawk. We're going to break that level, and Ethereum is going to fly. Now, this is key because we said it before. Now other analysts are picking up on it. This is amazing. Okay, we were first. I'm telling you, we were first. We said we see a Wyckoff style reaccumulation pattern, and if it plays out, it's a coiling spring that could target 5,000 very quickly down the line. Now we said it first. Now everybody else seems to have found it. Okay, Ethereum is following the Wyckoff blueprint to perfection. Spring, test, sign of strength. Every phase is textbook. Ethereum, the explosive markup is coming. It's where Ethereum is actually going to melt faces. So the playbook is for disciplined traders right now. We got to wait for confirmation, not prediction. Above 4,000, say 200, okay, is a reentry trigger. Below support, sit tight, protect capital. As of right now, Ethereum is following the Wyckoff blueprint perfectly. As we said, spring, test, sign of strength. Every phase is textbook. What's next? The explosive markup. That's all I can tell you. All right, let's move on over to good old Bitcoin dominance. Damn, Bitcoin dominance sitting now at 59.85. Hasn't moved, but we got a head and shoulders pattern on Bitcoin dominance. We've seen this pattern before, and you know how it ends. Bitcoin dominance eventually breaks down. Now we've already fallen out of the wedge. Now, it was just the damn tariff nonsense. The war with the tariff war with China threw us all off. But Bitcoin dominance, and we need Bitcoin dominance to start cooling. As I said, probably going to get below 57.5, and then you're going to start to see altcoin season heating up. But here's where it gets interesting. All right. While Bitcoin holds and Ethereum grinds, the altcoin market is missing an $800 billion boost. And that came out of crypto news because they're saying that retail money is rotating into crypto stocks and Bitcoin ETFs, leaving the altcoin field quiet right now. So that's why like your feed doesn't look, it feels dead on smaller coins right now. But there is selective strength emerging. All right. Now, if we look at, altcoins versus Ethereum. All right. This is, pretty cool. All right. What we're seeing right now is it's the same signal that flashed again. Every bullish crossover sparked an altcoin rally versus Ethereum. Every bullish crossover sparked it. So we're seeing it again right on time. The chart doesn't lie. The alts are ready to run, but we just got to be patient because, as I said, there's some money moving into Bitcoin. Okay, and as you can see with the dominance itself, Bitcoin dominance is still high. So you're just gonna have to be patient, right? Is altcoin season here? No, not yet. Okay, but the market's in a transition. All right. Now, hey, before we wrap up, I want to make sure you're well aware of our trading community. It's right here, link in description. Click this link right here. You'll be taken over to our trading group, completely free to join. We drop insane alpha trading opportunities all day long in there. Breakout plays to long-term gems. We got you covered. You want to follow us. If you're a lone wolf and you just want to go it alone, we got two spectacular brokers that you could choose from. Low fees, fast execution, really tight markets. You don't drive a truck through them. It's really tight. Bid and offer spread is great. You got WeX offering some sick bonuses right now. And we also got BTCC offering a $500 giveaway for new clients. Look, you want to level up your trading? You need a good charting service and you need a good broker with tight spreads. And both of these offer it and are both reliable brokers. So check out our trusted partners. Low fees, fast execution, built perfect for our strategies. Look, join our crew, man. Level up your trading and let's stack the profits together. They got some really good moves happening over in our Telegram community. All right, so how we wrap up. All right, so as I said, we just got to be patient. We're starting to see the signals in altcoin, but really, what we got to say is the market right now is in a transition. It's not in panic anymore, and it's not in euphoria. We're in a pre-move positioning right now. We're in pre-move positioning. And this is when we got a plan. That's why you got to get into our pro group because we'll help you set the plans. Okay. So, what's happening right now? What comes after the boredom? Expansion. The market is right now trying to lull you to sleep. Okay. The traders who stay focused now define the risk. You got to define your risk. You got to manage your size, and you got to wait for the proper technical triggers. Will own the next move. All right. So that's it for today's market recap. It's Saturday. Make sure you chill out a little bit. Market's probably not going to do much today. And of course, I'm going to see you tomorrow. But if you got value out of the breakdown, please make sure you come on over to X. Follow us on X, on our YouTube platform. Smash the like button. Leave a comment for us. Love the comments. Love to interact with you guys. And remember always, what do you have to do? Well, you got to really think about joining our free trading community. What else you have to do? You got to trade with your head, not over it. What else you have to do? You have to position size correctly. Too large of a position has shaken out more people out of a good position than any bad trade setup. I can assure you that. And then what else you have to do? Well, as a short-term trader, you got to enjoy the party, but dance near the door. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.